Hi and welcome to Pacuare Outdoor Center. My name is Eric and I'll be your guide for today's nature walk and talk. We are here at one of the most biodiverse places on the planet, Costa Rica, home to nearly 6% of the world's total biodiversity. During our walk, we will explore the environment surroundings at Pacuare Outdoor Center. Located on the slope of the Pacuare River, one of the most pristine and biodiverse waterways in the country. It is home to countless species from the rare jaguar to the king of camouflage sloth, toucans, and poison dart frogs that surround the camp. Today we'll explore sections of this rich ecosystem. I will show you some of the amazing flora and fauna that call this place home. So grab your water bottle, put on your walking shoes, and let's take a walk through the rainforest. Hey, look what we found over here. Come on, take a look. This is a beautiful caterpillar of the caligo butterfly, which is one of the largest butterfly species you will find in Costa Rica. There is 20 different species of caligo along the American tropics, Central and South America. And this is probably one of the largest ones. But it's amazing because when they start, they're so tiny and they'll start eating to increase their body size up to 100 times. So they're considered some predators or enemies of the banana plantations along the American tropics. That's a nice little tree and all. And really amazing lizards, which sometimes people question what's the purpose of them, but they also support a very important amount of animal life. Birds, snakes, other lizards, as well as they control insects population. They eat a lot of insects. So they have a purpose in the ecosystem. And these are some of the coolest plants also as you walk in the rainforest or tropical gardens. You find the Heliconias, which is a very interesting group of plants. They modify also some leaves to develop these bracts, which will attract some potential pollinators like hummingbirds, which the real flower is here in these areas over here. And hummingbirds with the long beak will access the little flower area, pollinate them, and then the plant will develop its fruits, which also will be the color, attracting birds like tanagers that will be eating the fruits and spreading the seeds in the rainforest. So over here in this Heliconia, we can see the fruits already developed. So the birds will come, also attracted by the bright coloration, and eat these little parts which has the seeds inside. And there will be the seed dispersal of these species of plants. So you can still see over here a little part of the flower. So which in most of the cases, hummingbirds, like the hermit species, will be attracted by these plants. They do the pollination, and other birds, as well as bats at nighttime, will come and eat the fruits and spread the seeds in the rainforest. So this is another variety of Heliconia. There's some of them that grow like hanging, but this one grows like upright, erect. And these are the real flowers of the plant. So we can see the red color is a modified part of it, attracting the pollinators, like the hummingbirds that we were talking about. But something really interesting about these species of Heliconias is that if you get closer, you will be able to see also the water that is collected in these areas over here, which they also become like a little ecosystem for other species. Even frogs will come to lay the tadpoles in these water areas, so the tadpoles can develop and become an adult frog. So some of those typical frogs that you will find sometimes around Heliconia species will be like the poison frogs, like the red frog, which people refer as the poison, strawberry poison frog. There are some that have the blue colored legs, which people call the blue jeans frogs. So they like these type of areas because Heliconias collect water. So once they lay the eggs on the ground and the eggs hatch, they take the tadpoles onto their backs to water areas above the ground like this, so they can continue the growing process or the metamorphosis on these species of plants. So they spend their juvenile stage, tadpole stage, in these plants over here. Now, I know that when we go to the rainforest, everybody wants to see animal life. But the rainforest is amazing. There's so many plants there trying to survive, trying to make a way to get some sunlight and photosynthesis. And many of these species of plants have potential benefits that we ignore. Like some of them have like source of food for us, some of them have like medicine, like they have a lot of potential benefits. For instance, there's this one over here, which is an amazing family. This is a family where the pepper, like black pepper, comes from. And if you grab a piece of leaf of this one, they have a really nice fragrance. Native Costa Ricans of the Maleco tribe in the northern part of Costa Rica, they take some of these leaves to wrap fish and give fish a different flavor. Now, too much of it might not be that good, so you really have to know when it's time to remove the leaves from the fish. So this is a plant that belongs to the pepper family, and people refer to it as anise because the smell, the licorice smell that the leaves produce. Hey, look at this, so cool. This is a couple of millipedes trying to work on making more millipedes over here. So it's a very interesting species that you will find normally near some decomposed material like old woods, near some of the compost piled areas. It's typical to see these interesting species of millipedes. So this is a really cool cecropia tree. This is one of the most common trees ecosystems that have been affected by nature, humans. They are known to be as pioneer plants, pioneer species, which they do the job of restoring the area for other species of plants that will come later. It is a variety of tree that is able to grow up to 5 meters, like 15 feet a year, because they don't really spend energy making hardwood. When they start growing at the beginning, they develop a hollow trunk so they can grow as fast as possible. But as they grow fast, they also need to develop some interesting root systems that come out of the ground, like these ones. So you can see the root systems. They're known as the walking trees or cecropia trees. Locally, they are known as guarumo, but quite interesting is that the hollow tree they develop becomes also a nice home for certain species of ants that use it to develop their nest. But you can see over here, like the little ants that make their nest at the hollow trunk of the cecropia tree. And these ants, which are known as the Aztec ants, very aggressive by the way, will, besides make the tree their host tree, their home, they also feed from the tree. But they have a really interesting relationship, a mutualistic relationship, or they create some protection for the tree. I mean, they also protect the tree from potential predators. So these you see over here, if you hold onto the tree, will eventually come and attack you, trying to protect the tree itself. There was actually a experiment done by some scientists when they tied a rope around the tree, and then ants came and bite the rope, trying to remove it from the tree. I'm lucky, so far no ants, but they're normally very aggressive. This is cool because over here you can see this is how a cecropia tree in adult stage looks like. Cecropia is at the beginning they develop a hollow trunk. It's just a thin layer of bark that will let them grow fast. Eventually, when they're a certain age, they spend more energy making like hardwood, a woody trunk, once they got enough sunlight. At the beginning, it's hollow, and they will keep that hollow trunk pretty much all their life, even after they develop more like a wood structure around, but they still have the hollow trunk, which is where the ants live. So this is an example of an old cecropia tree. But pretty much the whole tree itself, along different parts, will be hollow. So you can see this was a branch, has a hollow stem too. So this is the branch with a hollow trunk. If you break it, it's hollow inside. So it has this structure, which is like little chambers where the ants live. So it's a tree that makes the regeneration process of the forest because they create the right habitat or conditions for other plants to grow. In less than 50 years, most cecropia trees will start dying. Going up the tree, it's a huge bullet ant, which is one of the nastiest ants you will find in the tropical ecosystems. Oh, there's another one coming down. There it goes. They just run into each other. This ant has a really nasty sting as well as a bite, which will give you 24 hours of pain. People I have run into that got a really bad experience with this ant, so they say they will have a hard time sleeping at night because of the pain. Some even might have developed some like fever, which is It's something you don't want to experience when you travel in the rainforest. This is one of the reasons why you should not really hold on to plants. You should avoid touching plants as you walk in the rainforest because of ants like these, as well as there will be other reasons like snakes, other insects, spiders. But definitely, bullet ants will be like the worst experience you will have. There's many over here. They probably have the nest at the base of this tree. You can see the hole there. That's where the nest is. If you hit the tree, probably many will come. Yep. Yeah, you can see the nest. That's at the base of the tree. This is something you don't see often. It's really hard to find a nest of bullet ants in the rainforest. You normally see the ants just wandering up in the bushes, up in the trees. There's a native tribe in the Amazons where they collect ants, and it is for a ritual. So they collect the ants, they prepare a special scent that will kind of make the ants become docile for a little while, and they needle a glove out of palm leaves. And in the glove from palm leaves, palm fronds, there's little holes in between where they stick the ants there. And those gloves will be used by kids that are ready to become men. They got 20 ants or so in each glove, and they'll be stung by the ants. Many of them just pass out, have like fever. The amazing leafcutter ants. So they're really amazing. They have a huge colony that could go from like a couple of million up to 7 million of ants. A queen lives for up to 20 years, but most of these workers will barely get a year old before they die. There's a really amazing job they do, carrying these pieces of leaves all the way to the anthill. They take the leaves into the anthill, but they don't really eat the leaves. They fertilize a mushroom with those leaves. The mushroom that eventually will be eaten by the colony. What is really amazing is that they have a very strong relationship with the mushroom. It's a very relationship where the ants feed the mushroom and the mushroom feed the ants. And if any of them die, the other one will die as well. The ants depend on the mushroom and the mushroom depends on the ants. That's why they are working really hard to make sure that the leaves they're carrying to the anthill are not infected with any like larvae of other insects or any fungal disease. Because if the fungus die, the whole colony will die with the mushroom. These ants are so amazing, they're almost blind. So what they do here is they follow pheromones. They follow the scent that is laid along the trail. So they made like a highway because they follow that scent. And at some areas, they even do like little tunnels to move along the rainforest. They can carry leaves that will be probably 5, 6, 10 times their own body weight. Really strong. This is the actual nest of the leafcutter ants. You can see pretty much the area around the whole perimeter. There's many entrances, exits as well. So you can see all the little leaves that were left behind. And what you see up here could be 6 times deeper and 6 times bigger around. And even though we don't see it, but there is also a team of like soldiers protecting the colony, protecting the queen. Typical soldier will be like twice the size of this one. They don't have like any chemicals, they don't have a stinger. They just try to bite. But the regular soldier, the one I'm expecting to see, is twice the size of this one, and the mandibles will be also bigger. Which if they can bite through your skin, they'll definitely cut through and make you bleed. Amazing palm species that people refer as a walking palm to. They have amazing root structures, which are referred as steel roots, or most commonly known also as walking roots. They provide better stability for the palm species that are growing really fast too. They don't want to spend energy making like some deep root systems underground. They just want to grow fast, get enough sunlight for photosynthesis. What is really amazing of these species of palms is that many of them, if they're growing in a very dense canopy area where they have lack of sunlight, where they'll have a hard time for photosynthesis, they could even move like the stem ground level, looking for better sunlight areas. And as the stem moves along the ground, it will develop the root systems like this, ground level, and eventually once it gets a nice gap, a nice sunlight area, it will go straight up. So that's where the name of the walking roots come from. so the roots can grow along the stem if it needs to, looking for better sunlight. And there's some species that they might grow upright, and if there gets shade from other trees above, it might just move 1 or 2 inches at one side every year, looking for better sunlight chances. The walking roots. And over here we have what is also a strangler fig, a strangler tree. This is such a cool interaction in the rainforest to see. Like you can see the tree going around the host tree, the strangler fig sending some of the roots around. This is a tree that actually will depend on this other one to grow tall eventually. But after the years, many of those roots will suffocate the host tree that will make it die. And once they kill it, it's amazing because they develop a hollow trunk that sometimes you can even climb from the inside. What is really cool about strangler figs is that some of them have, well actually all of them have, symbiotic relationship with some species of insects like bees, which are the important pollinators of these plants. The fruits, which it's really interesting because the fruits of the ficus are actually flowers that didn't open. So normally the pollinators, which is a specific type of wasp, goes through it, lay the eggs, and once the eggs hatch, they come out of the fruit and they make the pollination of the flower from the inside out. So when they hatch, they go out of the fruits of the flowers and they go looking for another ficus to do pollination of the plant. It's really amazing. Samia's species known as ancient palms. These palms haven't really evolved much in hundreds, even millions of years. What is really cool about these ones is that according to some research, the leaves, if they're ingested, they can cause like stomach paralysis. So it was discovered when cows ate them, they can even cause death from eating the leaves. But what is even more interesting is that doing research on these plants, they have realized that native, like the Cabecars that live near our lodge and bribris, they use the root systems of this plant to develop some sort of like antidote for snake bites or some treatment for snake bites. So it's amazing because plant species of the rainforest have not really been researched that deeply. I mean, we believe that rainforest is like a book where you have just read the preface. I mean, most of it is still undiscovered, still unknown. There's a lot of potential on the rainforest. Plants like these can have the cures of diseases. Samia species are really amazing plants. In one short hike, there is already so much to see. From tree frogs to leaf-cutter ants to all the amazing plants. You never know what you're going to see on the Pacuare. We hope you have gained a deeper appreciation for the biodiversity of Costa Rica and the unique ecosystem surrounding the Pacuare River. This rainforest isn't just a home to countless species. It is also a critical part of our planet's health, storing carbon, purifying water, and sustaining life for both wildlife and people. At the Pacuare Outdoor Center, we are dedicated to preserving this special place. Through education and responsible travel, we work to protect these habitats for future generations. Thanks for joining me today for listening. If you enjoyed this hike, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you have questions or would like to book your visit to Pacuare Outdoor Center, please contact us or comment below and we will sure get back to you. Until next time, stay curious and pura vida.